I mean, my business has grown by 100 to 200% every single year. I mean, it's been astounding. I think 2 years ago we were at about $45,000 a month. Now we're at $90,000 a month. And you know, it's just, I want to say like I'm putting in a lot of work on it, but I'm really not. Honestly, I'm not putting in a lot of work on the business. Wow, I'm glad I said that out loud. Well, let me put it to you this way. Before I quit my job, every hour I was spending was contributing to my 2% yearly raise. But now every hour I'm spending, the sky is the limit. You know, there's no cap now on my earning potential. There's no cap on the value of my time. What actually had happened during the summer was my job had been threatened. It was a contract position there. I wasn't a contractor, but the company was a contractor for the university. And so the university was threatening to pull the contract. Now, if that happens, I lose my job. And so there was actually a pretty scary moment where I was pretty convinced that I was going to lose my job. Like, I went back home, I sat down with my wife and I said, hey, you know, listen, there's this thing happening at work. I might lose my job. And so we need to start thinking about what that's going to look like. You know, like, are we going to be able to make the car payment? Are we going to be able to make the, you know, the house payment? And so that, like, I've never in my life been put in a situation where somebody else is threatening to take the food out of my kids' mouths. Like, that is exactly how it feels too. You know, somebody else is basically holding an axe over your head, and you can like feel it on the back of your neck. Like, at any moment they're going to drop it on you. And so that had happened a few months before I had to make the decision. And so I knew at that point, I mean, to be perfectly honest, I checked out at that point. Like, I knew I was done. And it was a matter of really just waiting for the right moment to be done, to really be done. And I knew that I had a way out, you know, and that came up with that conversation with my wife. She said, you know, is your business big enough? Can it support us? And I said, well, almost, you know, and I had a few months. And so I used those few months to really like dig in. And now I wasn't working 5 hours a week on the business. I was working 20, you know, and I was putting all my time into it on the weekends. And I got it in those few months until that critical decision point came up where when I was ready to do it, I could do it easily. Like, I had that sense of security, you know, I had a parachute, I had a way out. And so now there wasn't an axe being held over my head because it didn't matter. You could do whatever you want to me. I'm a self-made man now. I have made my own future here. I have made my own fortune. And so you have no more power over me. And so that's how it felt. That's how it really felt, to know that, you know, they couldn't tell me what to do anymore, is really how it played out in my mind. You're not my boss. I am my own boss. Right, exactly. I'm not building an asset for somebody else. I'm not contributing to lining somebody else's pockets. What I'm doing is I'm building a sellable, growable, reoccurring, semi-automatic income stream that's, you know, going to really work for me. You know, there are a lot of ways that you could get your time back. There's a lot of different business opportunities out there. One of the things that makes this a distinct opportunity is how easily accessible it is. Okay, so I mean, think about what your options are. Really, you want to be a business owner. You want to have your own time. You want to spend time with your family. You want to indulge in the hobbies that you have, whatever it might be. Everybody's got a why for, you know, for wanting to be a business owner and wanting to be master of their own time. And you have options for doing this. So you could, you know, start a brick and mortar business, you know, like I was talking about. I wanted to open a restaurant, and to do that, you have to go get one. If it's a product-based business, you have to stock the shelves. You have to lay out all that money, and then you have to hope somebody comes and they buy it, right? And you have to hope that they do that before the rent is due. You could start a service-based business, but then you have to have the knowledge and the ability to be that service. There's some online things you could do, but all of them revolve around having marketing knowledge and driving traffic and building a product or building a funnel and all this other kind of crazy stuff. But with the FBA opportunity, all of that goes away. Amazon has already built you a sales channel that commands fully 50% of all e-commerce sales in the United States. You're fishing with hand grenades, honestly. And to make it even more worthwhile and even more of a thing that makes sense for you, you're not stocking your shelves and hoping somebody comes by and takes one off the shelf. You already know that 100 of these things are selling every single month. All you have to do is send in 100 and people will buy it. That's not to say that there's not challenges. There's totally challenges. But none of the challenges are related to the selling products part. All the challenges are related to how do I find wholesale accounts. That's the challenging part of this business. And it's solved. That part of the business is solved. You just have to surround yourself with the right people. And so, like I've dipped my toe in the water of a lot of different business opportunities, but there's a reason why this is the one that has set me free. And it's honestly because it's designed to. It's just an easy way to go if you have the right tools, if you have the right systems. And, thankfully I do. I do remember about 2 months after starting the wholesale formula, I shot Dan a message, and I remember this really clearly, and I just said, hey, I started the wholesale formula 60 days ago. I just wanted to know it paid for itself just now, like right now, like we just passed that mark. And so it was like, it took like 2 months and the course paid for itself. I was able to generate the revenue. I got my first wholesale account within a week or two, like I was really motivated, obviously, and that's also an exhilarating feeling, by the way. The first time a brand owner says yes, you're like, throw your hands in the air, this is awesome. Like I got my first account, because that an account is even better than $1, because an account is like a revenue generating machine. It keeps generating dollars. And so when you get one of those, you know that you have a vehicle for creating wealth that lasts, for as long as you can maintain it. And so that's exhilarating. But meanwhile, now I have a single wholesale product that sells $500 or $600 per day of a single product, and I don't have to mess around with it. It's just an automatic system that just generates revenue for me. Systems are nice and processes are nice. One of the unexpected things about being an entrepreneur is you feel like a lone wolf a lot of the time. And I'm not speaking from experience when I say that. I'm speaking from the experience of talking to other entrepreneurs, because I've never had that experience. Honestly, I never have. Whenever I've been stuck or had a question, I have a community of entrepreneurs in the same situation I'm in that are there to help me through it. They can answer my questions. They could point me in the right direction. I was extremely grateful in the early part of my business and developing the wholesale bit, to be able to jump on calls with more experienced people in this space. I mean, it was really cool. Like I would ask a question, it would be completely, challenging for me to understand how to do. And these very generous people would say, hey, why don't we jump on a call and I'll just walk you through it really quick. They'd be able to jump on a call, they would walk me through it. And because of that, you never feel like a lone wolf. You feel like somebody who's got a crowd of people at your back, and like a bottomless resource basically for knowledge, for growth, and you're really lifted up by that. I mean, what do they say? You're the sum of the people you hang out with most, and by hanging out with the people who are also successful and going in the same direction as you, then you're really well supported.